Successful escapes. Number 1. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. I provide you with unrivaled excellence about narcissism and psychopathy. I provide this through a wide range of work, thousands of videos, thousands of blog articles, numerous books, and through many products in the Knowledge Vault, which include narc detectors, enabling you to ascertain are you dealing with a narcissist, and if so, what type, and email and audio consultations which help you unravel what you're dealing with and provide you with practical solutions as to the situation that you face. On a one-on-one basis, I have helped thousands of people achieve freedom. Some of their stories are in the testimonial section. Through my work more generally, millions have been helped. I don't do this because I care. I do this because it extends my legacy. But as part of this legacy and its extension, it's important for you to hear those stories about where people have succeeded. Some of you may well come to this work bereft of hope, finding yourself confused, not sure of what you're dealing with, uncertain of where to go. And the purpose of this series is to enable you to draw inspiration and encouragement from your fellow escapees. This series is to allow people who have been directly affected by my work, who have directly interacted with my work, be it in consultation, reading my books, watching the videos, obtaining material from the Knowledge Vault and applying it. And I'm providing them with this platform to tell you what they think about it and how it's helped them. Their contributions are unedited by me. They are raw and unfiltered. Nobody has received any form of payment or reward for the provision of these explanations. Many people have willingly wanted to provide this information to allow you to understand how they have benefited from my work. Some have provided their own oral testimony. Others have provided it in writing for me to read out. Rest assured, the ones that are written and have read out by me are entirely genuine. These individuals come from places all around the globe. Different countries, different backgrounds, different ensnarements. But what they all have in common is that they have been able to achieve a successful escape from the relevant narcissist or narcissists. I would encourage you to listen to this, to obtain your own inspiration and encouragement, and to find practical assistance with regard to where you might find particular information that will help you as a consequence of your situation resonating with that of the person who's speaking. Use this information. Use the access that you have to this wealth of information that is provided. The first tale of escape that you're going to hear about comes from Andrea, who's in the United States. Here she is.
Hi, my name's Andrea. I live in the United States. I'm a verified super empath, and I escaped a middle mid-range. Let me tell you how I did it. I first became acquainted with the work of HG Tudor in 2015 through Amazon. I purchased several of his books and his previous platform on YouTube, and I would listen to videos every day. I was just immersing myself in all this information, and it was really helpful in me identifying people who had previously been in my life who were narcissists. So like I said, I was listening to every video he put out. I was reading the books, but guess what? My own self-study was not enough to help me avoid getting into another relationship with a narcissist, and I ended up marrying that one after 9 months of knowing him. And this was not good for my children that I had from my previous marriage. I didn't realize that he was a narcissist until after we were married, of course. And once I began to see his behavior towards me, I would just adjust my behavior and I would adapt. I would take the information that I learned from HG's work and I would try to adapt myself and accommodate so that it would mitigate the abuse. But what happened was then he focused his attention on my children. And that went on for about a year. And it finally came to a head when he threatened to kill my youngest son, who was 15 at the time. And at that point, I realized I needed to get away from this person. But by then, we had financial entanglements, and I knew that he would try to take my house that I owned free and clear. I knew he would try to take our home from us. And so I had to plan my escape. And it took 6 months to plan it. And during that time, I realized, you know what, I need to do more than what I'm doing. So I reached out to HG and got the detectors. The first thing I did was I got the narc detector. And that's when I found out what I was dealing with was a middle mid-range, somatic middle mid-range type A. And able to come up with a plan of how to handle a divorce. I also had purchased the divorce assistance package, and that was really helpful too. But knowing the type of narcissist I was dealing with, and of course I had a follow-up consult with HG, an audio consultation based on the results of that narc detector, that was extremely helpful to me to devise a plan. And so I was able to come up with my plan. Like I said, it took 6 months, and started just slowly uncoupling myself from him financially. And then when the opportunity presented itself, he attacked one of my kids, then I was able to take action and get a restraining order. The other thing I did was I put myself through the empath detector and found out that I'm a majority super empath with also empath carrier traits and some magnet traits. And again, had another consultation with him to follow up on that. That was the game changer, was actually having the consultations. First of all, getting the detectors done, that's mandatory. You have to know what you're dealing with, and you have to know who you are, because they play off of one another, and that's how you come up with the strategy. But the consultations that I had with HG, first of all, anyone that's reluctant to have one, don't be. It's extremely professional. I found him to just be very businesslike, and I knew that the information I was getting was accurate because it matched up with evidence. But the consultations and the detectors were the game changer for me to help me to plan my escape. Like I said, it took 6 months. And that was back in 2019. I've been 100% no contact with that individual since then. I've moved to another part of the state. He doesn't know where I'm at. And I am committed to never getting in another relationship again, because I don't have a good track record with being with non-narcissists. So I hope that this testimony helps other people to feel comfortable engaging HG in the detectors and the consultations, because trying to do it on your own is not going to be helpful. Good luck. Thank you for listening.
You've heard Andrea's explanation of the successful escape that she has enjoyed and the circumstances of it. And now it's Isabel from Spain who's going to tell you about what she achieved with regard to her escape.
Hello AG, I am Isabel, I am from Spain, and I have an addiction to the narcissist. My first book was Exorcismo, and I start to drain the golden period, because the golden period is the drug. I began to invest my money in all the knowledge vault, empath, trait, and weaponized detectors. Email consultations too. 3 years to achieve zero impact with my matriarch, my brother, and I am dealing with familiar alienation. But I'm aware of my future protection too. And to be highly immune, the harpoon of seduction and the insidious seduction was potentially helpful. What I really miss is a community of true students of your work, because your legacy saved my life from the narcissist, and now I know the narcissist. Thank you.
Two escapees, different stories. Detail from Andrea emphasizing the usefulness of knowing precisely what it is that you're dealing with, and then being able to furnish a plan of action to deal with that individual, resulting in a successful escape. For Isabel, recognition of the addiction that she has and her desire to continue to speak to a community of like-minded individuals to help her as she has continued to deal with a number of narcissists around her. If you'd like to share details of your successful escape, do feel free to email me at narcissist1909@gmail.com. All you need to do is provide a video or audio file explaining what work you've accessed of mine, the circumstances you found yourself in, how you've applied that work, and where you've got to now in terms of your escape. What have you achieved? How do you feel? What difference has it made to your life? And thus you can encourage others to utilize this route. If you don't want to speak, then all you need do is write out what has happened, and I'll narrate it for you. Just mention a name, doesn't have to be your exact name if you want to remain anonymous, and which country you come from, so it provides some context for listeners. Andrea and Isabel have shared their stories of the successful escapes. More will come. And what about yours? Are you going to share it, or are you now inspired to go and achieve it? I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.